Welcome to CTFairBet.com. It's been a while since we have spoken. This weekend I didn't do one because my son does all the work on this. He has band, he has golf, and he's a normal 15-year-old that's really busy. So I don't know how to do any of this. I'm dumb as a rock. At least I know that. But I make it up in other ways. But I haven't given the numbers pertaining to the website in a while, but I don't want to get into all of them. But I appreciate everybody logging in, looking at the video. But right now we have over 150,000 minutes watched, so which is big. So I really appreciate that. This I had something I wanted to talk about this weekend, but I got some bad news from a ex-co-worker of mine who's an absolute sweetheart, and she's always been dynamite to me, and when times were troubling in my life, she could sense it, and she always helped me. And but anyway, I'm going to read you something from Ruth Swantek, I believe it's pronounced. I got diagnosed with Huntington's disease, which is like having Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia combined. Very rare and very fatal. Now I know my psychological changes in the past 4 years were due to the disease. Now I'm going to need long-term care, which is very expensive. That the fact that Mohican Sun fired me unjustly, I no longer have long-term insurance. So we're going to get into some of this, and I'm going to try to stay on point as much as possible. Folks, how she lost her job is stunning. She was in pit 25, which we all know is a shithole. It shouldn't even be in a casino like Mohican Sun, because we don't need it. It brings in too many lowlifes that drink more than they play. But she was in pit 25, and the pit manager has 3 pits. He has 24, 25, and pit 27. He could be babysitting a $5 player in pit 25, or he can be babysitting a player that's in $300,000 in markers. So obviously the pit manager's got to stay in pit 27. But she had a drunk lady who spilled a drink, and she was yelling in Ruth's face. And she took away the one beer, and the boyfriend had another beer. So she started drinking that one, and then she maliciously just spilled the beer on the layout. So she calls security. In the meantime, Ruth, out of frustration, because, I remember years ago when being on break with her, and Ruth brought up when she was in pit 21, when a patron grabbed her hand and threw the cell phone at her. He broke a BJ sign in pit 21, and he tried to get to Ruth in pit 21. And I'm going to post this incident report because she has them. I'll probably post them tomorrow. Excuse me, my son will. I don't know how to. But they end up terminating her because she took a pen out of frustration and she threw it at the podium where she was standing. And since at Mohican Sun, they let players drink so much, get so crazy, and the people that have to make this call are hiding in the office somewhere, or they're off. They have no idea what the floor people and the dealers go through in places like pit 25. Same players, drunk. They don't come there to play. They come there to start trouble. But you know what? That's their decision, and it's got nothing to do with me. But you look at Ruth, who's got a very serious disease. Too many people in our business, they're fixated with by being the boss, or they want to be this, they want to be that. You know, I always looked at my casino job as the way to pay my bills. I've had worse jobs than Mohegan Sun, I had better jobs. I'm not defined by my job. Either is Ruth. Ruth, first of all, was a mother, and then she's a wife, and then she's an employee at Mohegan Sun. And there's times I saw obvious stress on her. She lost a lot of weight. She has a child with special needs, one in college. She has a good husband that she's always very proud about talking about. And, you know, I've always known her as to be a complete solid person. Did she have some rough patches? Yes, she sure did. And my question I'm putting out to everybody is, you know, shift managers, dual rate shift managers. Here's a girl that, you know, they had to do a DNA test to find out what this was. And when she got terminated, she got unemployment because, again, Mohegan Sun lost the unemployment hearing because basically she did nothing wrong. She threw a pen. Somebody that's been in the casino business since 1992, I think deserves the a little break because of time in, professional courtesies. So my question is to the full-time shift managers and the dual rate shift managers is, you know, did you do as much as you could to help her? Did you obviously see signs of, you know what, this person's having a rough patch in her life? Excuse me. Sorry. So, did you help her or did you bury her? You know, she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she's sick. She gave back her dual rate pit 2 years before because nobody would stand beside her when she made a call. She felt the shift managers had it out for her, or they didn't like the way she did anything because she's a strong, independent woman, which I've always found her to be. If you were an asshole, she's going to call you an asshole, and she's usually right. But by her giving in back the dual rate pit, she took a pay cut. And, she, you know, to show how in distress she was as far as a hostile work environment, you know, she has a baby in college and she's got a kid with special needs, you know, and she takes a pay cut. That kind of tells you how much stress she was under. She, you know, the Pit 25 thing, the guy threw a beer at her. I mean, the woman threw a beer at her. And, you know, people have breaking points. So, you know, this video is more about going forward, pertaining the employees that are at Mohegan Sun now as supervisors. You got to look to try to help somebody, not bury somebody. You're supposed to be a team. And anybody that's in a position of authority, you know, try to help the next person out. Maybe they're going through something. So don't look at the bad first, look at the good first. Why don't you put yourself in their shoes before you pull the trigger? You got to realize that people have lives, and some people, I get it, are defined by their job. They want to be casino managers, they want to be the boss, they want to be this, and that. You know what I mean? I had words with Eanes, the gentleman he relieved, and the guy said to me, had the balls to say to me, you got to act like a pit manager first. No, I got to act like a father first. My job does not define me. I want to be defined as a good father, a good brother, and one who took care of his loved ones, and try to help somebody, not bury somebody. So I think that There's people at Mohegan Sun right now who have blood on their hands, as far as they could have helped Ruth as opposed to burying her. So please, when you make your next call as a manager or as a dealer, when you talk to a floor person, talk rationally, and don't jump on everybody, and just try to help. But you know what, I feel I'm going to post more tomorrow, but again, I want everybody out there to understand, here's a wife, 2 kids, one with special needs, and this is her text to me. I got diagnosed with Huntington's disease, which is like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia combined. Very rare and fatal. So she really needs that long-term care. But since she got fired from Mohegan Sun for something that should have been handled quickly internally, no problem. When that player threw the cell phone at her in pit 21 and came after her, she wanted the state police to come, and management said no. So right now we're talking about Ruth. Tomorrow we can be talking about somebody else. Could be talking about you. Going forward, please, everybody, think of yourself. Think of somebody else before yourself. Put yourself in their shoes. We are going to put another video out tomorrow, but this video was about Ruth and her family. Ruth, as your friend, co-worker, you've always been nothing but fair to me and nice to me. And when I was down, you picked me up. You always said a joke. And I appreciate that. Now it's my turn and all of ours turn to let you know our thoughts and prayers are with your family. So everybody, I wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and I wish you all nothing but the best. Take care.